episode one
There you go.
of Scuff N Stuff featuring Porcelain Maid.
Hooray!
I'm Monarch, one of your hosts and holder of one brain cell.
I'm CyYu, and I'm the holder of that same brain cell sometimes, because this is a game of Pong, and one day we'll collab and play that game.
And today we're the three fates sharing one single brain cell.
I definitely feel like Joel is probably the smart one that yells at us and gets smacked while we try to
I don't think I'm smart. I just have more more anger in my heart for you guys. So
Yeah,
it makes me
I said.
sound smarter just by yelling at you.
The Three Stooges.
I'm Mo. That's what it is. Mo's not smart, but he always looks like the smart one in front of the other two.
Yup.
The three blind mice or something over here.
Oh, God.
God, that's even worse because they're blind.
It's
The
funny,
other ones were just
anytime
stupid.
Anytime now I
guys?
think of the three blind mice, I always go to Shrek.
That sucks.
Aw,
That seems kind of awful, actually.
Yeah.
Imagine like making a story and then your story gets a cameo and it's only known for the cameo.
Well, I mean, isn't that just Disney?
Man,
That's fair.
Like,
I don't
literally,
like
like
Disney though.
Well, no. By your logic, isn't that the case?
Yeah, I mean that I do. That it is the case because I also don't like Disney for that reason.
Well, the Grimm's fairy tales. Yeah.
I'll be honest though, I've read Grimm fairy tales. A lot of them aren't that good.
Yeah.
Anyway, today's episode, the theme is games that make you rage quit or games that frustrate you. I kind of like games that make you rage quit.
Did you pick this theme specifically for me because of the rage in it?
Yes.
Yes.
Or was this
I'm
like
not
free?
even kidding.
No, it was specific.
No, it was.
Okay.
We chose the theme, and then we went, we should have guests. And I
Joel.
went, who should we have? And we went, Joel. Immediately,
Joel.
we both went, Joel. Like, who fits this theme?
There was
It's
another
so
theme.
funny.
There was another theme we talked about, but I was like, I don't know if that should be our first guest theme.
Yeah. We thought this one suited you best.
This
so we
fits
stuck
because
you
a
in
lot
there.
of people see me as an angry person, which is I'm not an angry person. It's really funny, but I like the perception that I'm like this angry dude because it's kind of funny. It's kind of very funny that so many people think that I'm like the hyper aggressive intimidation factor.
You're just always at an 11.
I think so. I think it's the energy that I have that people think that it comes off as aggressive, but most of it's
Not a bad
aggressive
thing.
positivity. Like I'll use that same anger that I get frustrated at you guys with in video games to like throw love at people at the same time.
Yeah, you're like a soccer dad.
I don't think you've ever.
A soccer dad?
I don't
Johnny,
think.
get that ball, run faster, Johnny. Johnny, no dinner for you, Johnny. Go.
That seems
How
more
many
toxic
soccer
than you
games-
think.
How
Yeah.
many soccer games have you been to?
They're
Go
a
ahead.
lot worse than you think, Monarch.
Go ahead. No, Joel.
I've seen
Let her
quite my
speak.
fair of competitive parents, and it cracks me up all the time.
Yeah, for soccer.
Not for soccer, just all sports.
Yeah.
Would
Soccer.
you rather
Is that
I
what you
say that Joel
visualize
reminds
me as?
of a horse dad?
What?
What is a
competitive
horse dad?
A horse parent? Competitive horse parent? I used to do competitive riding. I've seen some really intense parents.
Monarch, in the
Really
nicest
intense
way, that
parents.
is like the whitest woman thing I've ever heard you say.
Thank
I used to do competitive
what it
horse
is.
riding? Girl, what?
It is what it is.
That is the most white thing I've ever heard you say.
Out of my mouth.
Me and Sayu over here sitting in one corner of the area just staring at you talk about competitive horse
First
riding.
of all, if you're at a soccer game and someone just yells out, "You get him, Johnny," I don't think.
Go get him, Johnny. Run, Johnny.
Yeah.
No supper for you, Johnny.
Yeah.
I think you think of me as a soccer dad because when I yell at you, it's yelling not out of anger, it's yelling out of I want you to be better. And I think you think of, your competitive horse dad.
It's the I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed yelling.
Joel yelling is like SpongeBob yelling at Gary.
Oh, we are blowing it, Gary.
Yeah, there's
You're
love behind
blowing
it.
Hey, you're gonna eat it and you're gonna like it.
Oh, it's so true. There's love behind it. There's just a lot of power.
Well, that episode specifically, that SpongeBob was 100% just using Gary for his own gain.
Oh, 1000%.
Not to fucking psychoanalyze, SpongeBob the episode.
I know that we have a theme for today and it's video games, but I saw this last night on TikTok. Is SpongeBob not funny unless you watched it in the past? Like, you don't think...
No, it's still funny. I think people today still like it.
I think so too, but like, if folks were like, yeah, if you haven't seen SpongeBob, some of those jokes aren't funny. And I was like,
Oh, that's weird.
well, no shit, you need
I
to
think,
see it. Like,
yeah, you have to obviously watch the show to
visual
find it
comedy.
funny.
Yeah, you have to know the lore.
Yeah, but I still think it holds up. Like, because the way they were making it sound, they were like, those aren't actually funny. They're only funny now because of nostalgia. And I was like, I don't.
That's not true.
I think that's
not
wrong.
I think
true.
they might be comparing classic SpongeBob to like new age SpongeBob.
Which, honestly, classic SpongeBob is way funnier.
Yeah, agreed.
Mhm.
Yeah. But it was just something I saw, and I was like, I wonder what other cartoons are like that. Because I was like, was regular show really that funny? And I've been rewatching it with Hayden, and it's hilarious.
We'll have to have
I want to rewatch those old things. I really do. A lot of old TV shows I really want to rewatch, like Courage and SpongeBob.
Oh God.
Oh God.
I know. Let me get my trauma again, but
Were
as an
there
adult
video
this time.
games- Were there any SpongeBob or Courage video
Oh,
games?
dude, SpongeBob video game was one of the most popular GameCube games. Like
Battle for Bikini
it was
Bottom?
a phenomenon. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that SpongeBob does. I want to say Courage had a game once
Probably
upon
like
a
a
time.
Game
They've
Boy
all
game.
had games.
Yeah.
I just don't remember any of them, so they're not on my rage.
SpongeBob has some great ones. Yeah.
SpongeBob had a lot. There was one thing that always made me mad in a SpongeBob game, if we want to get on topic, was that SpongeBob can't swim. And he lives underwater.
Oh,
so when you're playing
true.
the game
Well, that's
and
the
you hit the
deeper
water,
end.
he dies. Like, I know the joke, but oh my God, SpongeBob, learn.
Oh,
What do you mean?
He's just a sponge.
It's
He's getting into
deeper
the salt
in. It's
pools.
deeper into the water pressure.
That's the brine water, yeah.
He's a sponge. All he has is sponge brain cells.
Have you guys ever, like, has a game ever frustrated you to the point where you just, like, either throw your remote, break the disc when physical media existed because the game industry doesn't want it to exist? Like, have you just, like, uninstalled it or anything, or...
I've
Like, what's the
never
worst
gotten
thing you've
mad
done?
at the difficulty of a game, but I've gotten mad at a game being just bad a couple of
Like?
different times.
Like,
Well, I remember the only time I've ever refunded a game was, do you guys know the people that made Until Dawn and those games?
yeah.
Yes.
They made, what was it? It was called Little Hope. And I hated it so much that I uninstalled it after an hour of playing and then refunded
the
it.
Dark Pictures one, right?
Yep, one of the it was
Yeah.
that bad.
Oh shit.
Really?
I
Was that
hated
was that the town one?
Yep, it was the town one.
Yeah, so
It was
funny
very
enough,
cheap.
I think that one is still better than their first, because Dark Pictures had that anthology, because it was the boat, the town,
I think
it
the boat one was
the
better.
Military. What? No.
The boat one had a better twist in it.
Really?
Even though if you could see it coming, I thought it was more interesting.
I don't think so. I felt like the boat one was way worse than the town. But I get what you mean. They are very cheap. They wanted to be Until Dawn so desperately. And I think that they're I never played or watched the last one they had, which was the like almost Saw.
That's Until Dawn
the werewolf
kind of
one?
Saw-like.
Yeah, Until Dawn is, but no, there was the Dark Pictures, the last anthology game they had. It was the military one that ended up being some weird alien thing. And then after that, there was like a house of whatever the fuck, and it literally was Saw.
Oh, the quarry? No, not quarry.
No, the
No, that's
quarry
a
was the
different
werewolf
game.
one.
Yeah. Oh.
That was the one with the London Tipton from Zack and Cody was in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. I
And the
can't play
guy
those
from
games
Detective
at all.
Pikachu.
Those games
yeah.
riddle my anxiety.
They're not
Oh,
good. I mean, they're okay for bad movie entertainment. None of them are well written, I would say.
They're all cheesy, and I think they know it very well. And the problem is with Until Dawn, I think they didn't ham it up. They didn't take themselves too seriously, and they didn't ham it up too much. So it was a good balance, right? Which is why that type of game became popular. But then the Dark Picture games, they were like, ooh, people like this. So then they overdid it on both ends.
You know what?
I
I
mean?
kind of like it if they overdo it and make it like bad to be bad,
Yeah.
like for the sake of being bad. I think that would be pretty good.
If they know it's gonna be bad and they just
Yeah.
make it funny that way. Yeah.
Just because like a lot of what they write is, it's just not good.
That's
Like none of
fair.
the character actions make any sense ever. So it's one of those games where you're, you know, the horror movies that you watch where you're like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? But it's that constantly, and it's like your option, your choices.
They have to make it a purposeful choice. It can't just be bad for
Yeah.
no reason.
But that one?
I've never gotten mad at a game for being bad though. I usually only get mad at games because of user error, aka me error.
Skill issues.
Oh,
Skill issue.
yeah, for sure.
I have something like that too.
Yeah. What do you have?
Oh, well, okay. I really don't like. So I'm a big fan of Souls games, right? You guys know me.
God.
Yeah.
I love Souls games. I love everything FromSoft makes. The one FromSoft game I don't like is Sekiro, and I'm allowed to say
What?
that I don't like it because I got to the final boss of the game,
Uh-huh.
and it was annoying because the skill issue with that game is that they don't give you options. You literally have 3 mechanics that you have to get good at. Like kind of like how Jump King plays, where you get, you know, there's one thing you need to get good at, and if you don't get good at that,
Oh.
then you kind of mess up.
Oh,
So,
were
I
you not
pushed
good at like
through.
a thing?
I was never perfect at it. So I pushed through all of Sekiro, got to the final
Sekiro.
boss, and I just kind of because I said it wrong.
Yeah.
I can't listen, I have a hard time with R's, but
What?
I stopped playing. So I got to the final boss, and after I think a couple hours of trying it, I just kind of stopped playing it because I had to take a step back and think, would I have fun if I was good at this game? No, because I'm at the final boss, so clearly I was good enough to get here. I think I'm just not having fun in general, and I don't want to stream this again, so I had to quit it. I had to uninstall it.
Sure.
I really don't like that game compared to all the other Souls games.
That's crazy. Sorry, go on. I thought you were done.
Sorry. I was going to go on a tangent about difficulty because I think
go
Souls
ahead, go
games
ahead.
aren't that. Well, okay. I don't think Souls games are as hard as people make them out to be because they have options for you, right? You may not know about those options and you might quit because you don't know those options, but in Sekiro, you don't have those options. Like in Dark Souls, I can level up, I can switch weapons, I can upgrade weapons to make my life a little bit easier, or switch to magic or whatever. And I can summon people to help. In Sekiro, you don't have that. It's literally get good or die.
So skill issue.
It is a skill issue. That's what it is.
See, I hate all Souls games. I cannot do it. The button mashing and like I'm just not a gamer. There's no games today.
The button mashing is wrong. I feel like you shouldn't be button mashing in
No,
a
not
Souls
button
game.
mashing, but like like remembering combos and like
sure,
patterns
like
shit,
yes, the pattern.
where it's like dodge, dodge, flash, dodge, dodge,
Yeah,
flash.
it's
Like,
a utility game. You have a utility of things to use. You're kind of like Batman with how you're using
Monarch.
stuff.
Yeah.
Have you ever played Cuphead?
I literally
That one's also a skill
Googled
issue
most
game.
frustrating games to try to jog my memory when I was writing my list.
I love
and that, was
that
up
game.
there.
Dude,
I know you love that game, but you're a gamer.
No. Here's the crazy part. I have never beaten a Souls game, and I can't because I get super frustrated, and it is 100% a skill issue. But for some reason, I can beat Cuphead in under 3 hours.
That's crazy.
You just click with different things.
Yeah, it's just wild. I will say though, the closest thing to a Souls game I've beaten is between. I don't really count Strangers of Paradise as one. It just feels more actiony. But Black Myth Wukong and that thing that you were describing about being able to level up and that thing, yeah, dude. That final boss, it was crazy. But highly recommend checking it out. I'm actually waiting because a lot of people are like, "Oh, you should do New Game Plus," and I'm like, I'm waiting for it to come out on Xbox because I have.
I'm surprised you like that because that is just a Souls game. I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
It is and it isn't. So it's a lot more forgiving than a Souls game, in my opinion, because you're able to level up. And then if you're like, man, I didn't want to level that up, you can re-edit your entire thing, and it doesn't cost anything. You can do those in Souls games? Yeah,
but
it costs
they
money.
cost stuff. Yeah, you're right.
But in this one, it doesn't cost anything, and you can always keep grinding just like any other game. And if you die, you don't lose anything.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. But the difficulty is crazy in some parts.
No, thank you.
So
I didn't even play when we were playing It Takes Two. I couldn't even do those battles. So for people that don't know, me and CyYu played It Takes Two, and it's a game where you're playing as two people. There's a ton of little battles and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't die unless both of you die. It was me dying every 4 seconds, and somehow CyYu jumping around living, and I was just getting respawned and respawned and respawned and dying instantly.
Can I cut in for that?
Oh, I know about your ass. I know about your ass. I can't wait to hear this story.
So I remember when It Takes Two came out, and I made a whole little bit where I asked a couple of friends to play with me, and all of them said no. So I played almost the entirety of the game by myself with two controllers.
Oh, wait, how?
I thought that was so cool. I haven't seen it. But I'm like, whoa, what a challenge.
A video. I have an old video on my channel before I had my 2D model. It was my 3D model.
Wow.
And I played almost, I think I got up to the space. I beat the little gorilla boss, the one that's in like the little space thing. I got up to that and then I stopped playing.
The astronaut guy.
Yeah, the astronaut guy. I should finish it. I think it would be funny.
You should start from the beginning. You should do a brand new playthrough.
Now that I have a 2D model, I think it would be funny to do It Takes One again. I called it It Takes One.
Were you playing with your toes?
No. I just used both hands.
Yeah.
What?
So I would if I needed to focus on one, I would put the other one in a spot, and then I would play as one person. But if I needed to do both, I would like kind of finagle it to use both characters at the same time with my hands.
That's so funny.
For some of those battles, especially like
it was a little frustrating, dude.
Yeah.
I could imagine the squirrel stuff being easy because it's like one person just has to pilot while the other one has to do that
actually the hardest one for me. The piloting while fighting was actually really annoying.
Damn.
Yeah, because you have to put one down, but you can't like hit the walls. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I will say,
I kept dying. I think did we switch? We had to switch at one point to do something because I couldn't do something. I can't.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was though.
I can't remember.
But those games are good. Like those games are a little frustrating when any game that you have to rely on another person can be frustrating because. You know, it's not a skill issue at that point. You're waiting for somebody else to get better.
I will say, because we're clearly going into Pico Park territory. Because let's be honest, that's like the one that the three of us like we're all frustrated. And again, I don't think is that. I just think the group of us, right, like the three of us and Liz. I just think that game for us together was bad. I feel like if we did that with other people, I think it would be a little bit more manageable. But I was so frustrated at myself. I threw my controller and headphones to the ground and yelled at the floor. I don't know if the mic picked it up, but I literally was so upset that I yelled at the floor, and I felt so bad I apologized. The only game I have ever been so frustrated at that it wasn't Pico Park in that semblance of a capacity is a horrible game known as Mighty Number 9. And
yes, this legendary game.
And in a similar vein, Joel, the final boss, I did beat it, but the final boss was so frustrating because the whole thing about game design is you want to make shit stand out. The final boss, so the whole point of Mighty Number 9 is it's basically another Mega Man game, and you have to absorb their energy, right? Like you do damage, and then you dash to actually do damage. And when you absorb their data, they turn a different, like before you absorb their data, they turn into a different color to indicate, hey, now's the time. The final boss was purple, and the color it changed to absorb energy was purple. While the background was purple.
Oh no.
I love art design. I love art direction.
Awful design.
So you couldn't tell like when it was powering up.
Exactly. And when I beat it, I pulled out the disc and I split it in two and I threw it in the toilet.
You're like, we're done here.
You took the physical copy.
Yes.
It'd be funnier if you were playing digital and you went to buy the physical just to ruin it.
You're at GameStop,
And I
in
did
line,
tweet
you
it
just
out.
break it in front of the guy.
I did tweet that out. I don't know if I can find it, but if I do, I'll put it in the
What
Discord.
year was this? Was it? Were you a
Oh
VTuber?
God, this was like 2016. This was almost a decade ago.
Dude, that's when I started streaming.
You're
That was
welcome.
9 years ago.
Was a decade ago.
You're
Holy
welcome.
shit.
You're welcome. I did that.
I don't think I've ever gotten angry at a video game that badly, because I've always had a philosophy as a kid that like nothing is that bad. Like my life will go on. So whenever it comes to games, and especially after I became a streamer, the only time I'll actually get angry at a game is when it's not fun for my chat to enjoy. Even if it's just like rage baiting me, then whatever, I can still do it because it's entertaining. But I've never gotten like so angry at a game that I just was like physically angry.
No, I've definitely gotten physically angry at games.
I haven't gotten angry like in adulthood, but I remember as a child literally having temper tantrums because of a game. And I have written here. You guys will definitely know what this is, but it's from Pokemon Red or Blue. Which is the Saint Surge's little mini
the puzzle
where you have to
the
like
trash
go into
bins.
Wait, the gym leader Surge.
Yeah, there was a section before you get to him as the gym leader, you have to like match up 2 or 3
The
trash
little
cans.
gym puzzle. Yes, they have gym puzzles in that game.
I remember clearly as a child waiting in the dentist office lobby playing that on my little Pikachu flip Game Boy Advance and screaming
That's a
and
really
like
good
stomping my feet and having an
That's such
actual
good imagery.
temper tantrum because I could not. I had like, and it was like low battery. So like, because we were at the dentist office, so I couldn't charge it. So I was like losing my goddamn mind because I was like, if I don't get it in the next couple seconds, I'm gonna lose it.
Dude, that's so specific. It's so funny because nobody really likes that puzzle, but there's a way that you can get the puzzle correct every time, I'm pretty sure, from speedrunners.
No, it was me as a kid just somehow always missing the last one and it restarting, and I just like collectively lost my mind a little bit more and more every time.
Wow.
That's so silly.
I actually didn't finish Pokemon Red, or I think it's one of the first ones I never finished.
Gym leader Surge, Lieutenant Surge fucked you up. He actually caused you to stop playing. That was your wall, and you could not overcome it.
Sure. I know, and now every time I walk by a trash can, I go, screw you.
Dude, the raccoons in there are gonna get really confused on why you hate them so badly.
You little trash can, come on.
Man, maybe I am a gamer because you guys sound bad.
Well, I just don't get angry at games anymore. I think I had anger issues as a kid, but it was never towards video games. It was always towards like a show, or I had a really bad anger issue with a kid where someone flipped my hat off that I wore, and I just like punched them. I straight up punched them afterwards. Obviously, after I got like to the age of like, I don't know, 15, I stopped acting like that. But for a while as a kid, I would just like immediately respond with like a punch to anything that I considered like an annoying slight.
Wow.
But in terms of video games and stuff, you know, I'm an adult now. I don't act like that at all. Not saying that you guys aren't for doing it. Everyone is different, but still. It's so funny though. We were talking about this, and you guys are talking about how you get actually physically angry at games sometimes, and I'm just sitting here like, I like video games.
I mean, I love video games.
Yeah,
but
me too. I just don't like I don't like puzzles, and I don't like
what? I love puzzles.
I love puzzles.
Oh my god, I lose my mind, especially on stream. I'll go, "What is this?"
Oh,
just like,
sure.
It's a puzzle. I'm like, not in this. Like, why randomly in this game? Just a random one-off
Honestly,
puzzle.
The most recently I got frustrated was maybe like yesterday. I was playing Joy of Creation.
Okay.
Which is a Five Nights at Freddy's like fan made game, which is a really well done game. But I was watching it, like I was doing certain things, and I kept getting killed. I got punched in the face, like Foxy stabbed me with his hook, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And people were like, "Well, you should have been doing this," and I was like, "How am I supposed to know that?" And
that's not the game. That's the chat making you extra angry.
Yeah, that is true. I get mega aggro at chat. Like, chat is like, get good, idiot. And I was like, how is that my fault? How is that legitimately my fault? The game didn't tell me this is a mechanic. And then literally after I die, the game has like the person watching you types in the computer, be careful with that. And I'm like, you're a bitch. Like, it's just insult to injury. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my chat's reminding me that I did have a meltdown at Liza P, but that wasn't because the game was hard or
That's
bad.
Another Souls game, Monarch.
Yep, well, it's a Souls game specifically, catered towards me because it's about Pinocchio. But I got mad at the story of Liza P and the the dialogue and like the writing. It was a game, and so basically at the end of the game, towards the end of the game. There's a decision that you make that you can't go back on, but the decision it'll make you don't get any prior information about the decision. You literally walk up to an event that's happening, and then you have to choose immediately yes, no. And if you choose wrong, you get a horrible ending for the game, and you will not be able to change it unless you restart the game.
Entirely?
Yep.
That would make me rage quit. 100%.
That's what made me really mad, but it wasn't the game itself.
Wait.
It's only when something related to story gets bad because I'm trying to, make the best thing happen.
What was that, Monarch?
Well,
that would make you rage quit?
Having to restart a whole game would make me rage quit.
I do it a lot.
My screen.
Hey,
I did do it recently too.
Hey, Monarch.
Yeah.
Don't fuck up in Mass Effect 3.
What do you mean?
Don't worry about it.
Does that happen in Mass Effect?
Actually, don't fuck up in Mass Effect 2.
Oh my gosh.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't want to spoil it for you, but just don't fuck it up.
Oh,
yeah, don't spoil anything because I plan on playing Mass Effect 1 as well.
It's a fantastic trilogy.
It's such a good trilogy.
It's one of those games that I missed out growing up because I was so focused on Halo and like Borderlands that I just never played Mass Effect or like Gears of War or anything.
Speaking,
is that what
Halo Infinite is dog shit. Fucking dog shit story.
It is.
My God. And the amount
it's also bad game design for the story as well.
Here's the thing, all right? Like, if the story had come out when the game dropped, I'd be like, man, that's okay. Like, I'm not a big fan of it. But they made people wait like a full year and a half later for the campaign. After the game was out.
And for co-op, and for Forge, and for custom games.
Dude, it's such a... Like, right now, that game is literally breathing because of the community, literally making the maps for the company.
And it wouldn't be that bad if they just dropped everything at once.
Yes, it wouldn't... Like, if all of this dropped at the same time, that game, I feel like, would have lasted way... Like, the lifespan, and way more people would be talking about it. But the story is so bad. Like, it's, and my cousin is a huge fan of Halo, and he was telling me everything. Dude, he told me the book that led to the events of the story of this game, and I was like, why wasn't that the game?
Well, if you play Halo Wars 2, it explains the factions that you're fighting against a lot more.
I know!
And they're way more interesting there.
But the thing is, even then, there's the story between Halo Wars 2 and Halo Infinite, and literally the book that connects the two is just so much better than the story we got. And I'm like,
it happens a lot.
Yeah.
It's a very disappointing game. As a massive Halo fan who also reads all the books most of the time, it's such a massive tonal shift and just gameplay shift from normal Halo. Because the reason why I really like Halo and the Halo campaigns, and I like games that do similar things to Halo, is that they just make very nice curated linear levels that you go through that are really fun to do, and they have secrets in them like skulls and stuff. But this game is open world, so it's trying to copy off the big open world boom since Breath of the Wild, but it doesn't work like that for Halo because Halo is really meant to be linear. And because of that, the game, all the levels in Halo, which aren't really levels, they all look the same and they all kind of play the same, so it's not that interesting.
Yeah,
that's frustrating in its own right. Like it's because you love the series so much that it's just frustrating to watch it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a lot of different video games, right? That's a lot of games nowadays, honestly. There's Assassin's Creed that's devolved. There's
Oh
Halo
my
that's
God.
devolved.
Oh, yeah.
There's I think Dead Space devolved. A lot of games like that have devolved.
Dead Space.
Yeah.
So funny thing. Dead Space 1 and 2 I think are great. Dead Space 3 becomes Gears of War.
Oh, interesting.
Which I haven't played, so I actually don't know anything about it.
Dead Space 3.
I haven't played Dead Space 2 or 3, and I haven't played Gears of War.
Yeah, me either, actually.
Dude.
I only
Dead
played
Space
1.
2. Dead Space 2. It's
I
really
think
good.
I played some Dead Space 2 before they got the remaster. Dead Space.
Dead
Space. Well, the Dead Space remake is fantastic.
It is.
Okay.
It's really good.
Yeah. Yep.
Too bad they won't
Highly
make another one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
You did
But
mention...
I still. Well, no, go ahead.
No, what's that guy?
I was just gonna say that Dead Space 2 I still think holds up, and the DLC Severed is great.
Yeah. I gotta play. Gotta be on my list.
Yeah.
I know.
Puzzles
I have a list for
puzzles.
both of you guys. I send you guys games all the time, I think.
Crow
George has
Country
very
is
good
on. I'm literally
recommendations.
playing it on Sunday.
Yay! Yippee! Monarch should play Crow Country too. It's a horror game
Ooh.
that's kind of simple, so you won't actually get frustrated with it, and it's fun.
Wait, is it the one where like it's like you're like a little guy running around and it's like
Like
kinda
an
creepy?
No.
old PlayStation game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like an old
I thought-
PlayStation game.
I
Yeah.
thought you were describing Little Nightmares.
No, I understand what she
Yeah.
says sometimes. I'm starting to understand Monarch speech. Like it's a different language. She'll say little guy, but she doesn't mean literally little guy. She means like, oh, it's like old.
Yeah, like just like it's like a guy just like creeping around doing his thing.
Little
I'm
guy
surprised I
is
was able to
old
understand
guy.
what she said.
Little guy.
is no, she meant little guy is like little guy in an older game because you have the perspective of that game is little.
Mm-hmm.
I
I know it's really confusing. I'm surprised that I understood what she meant.
Thank you.
Mm,
You
The
guys
brain rot's
mentioned
affecting me.
you guys mentioned Breath of the Wild as like one of the like an open world game that a lot of games are like emulating. Did you guys ever have any trouble with the puzzles in that?
Did we bring
not-
up Breath of the Wild?
I did.
Yeah,
I
you
did
guys-
for a
okay.
second.
I
Brought
okay.
up
I was
open
like,
world for a second.
None of the puzzles troubled me. I really like Breath of the Wild. I think Tears of the Kingdom is the one that I have the issues with, but I haven't beaten that game yet, so I can't
Yeah.
talk about it.
That's fair.
I think a few puzzles in Breath of the Wild, but the thing is, and I think I've talked to Joel about this a little bit. I think I'm kind of open world out, at least for a bit.
I think most
Yeah.
people are.
Yeah, it definitely depends. But when Tears of the Kingdom came out, I was excited, but not like, yeah, I'm gonna play the stories. I played it, and it's too much. Like, I feel like there has to be, for me at least, I feel like there has to be a limit as to how open an open world can be.
I actually felt like there was too little in that one.
What? In Tears of the
Really?
Kingdom?
Well, I got
don't think it's
frustrated with
structured
certain
or
things in it.
unlockable
They
by
literally
chapter.
gave you a 3D program as a video game.
I didn't like the I felt like I got like shafted by a lot of the armor choices, but that was my main issue with it. And then like I got kind of annoyed that the story was out of order. So like you would find that, I mean, you could do that in Breath of the Wild too, but that wasn't really story, that was extra. But the main story in Tears of the Kingdom you can find kind of all over. Again, I haven't beaten the game yet, so I don't know everything.
I just couldn't get into it. I felt like there was too much freedom. Like
Too much to do, overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed 1000%.
That's me with Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
feel
But
it,
even
yeah.
then, even with Baldur's Gate, like as a crazy amount, it still feels contained.
It's still structured because it unlocks parts of the map with the axe, which I wish is what world stuff did. Where like it's open world in a sense, but you have to do A, B, C, D to unlock these.
There was too much stuff for me. I even in the first act, there was just like, this is way too much for me to do.
Yeah,
I
Act
am
3 is bigger than
overwhelmed.
Act 1 and 2, so I'm glad you didn't get to Act 3.
Oh God, dude, it's a lot. I can't do this. I think I actually start to prefer more linear games, and maybe it's because I don't have as much free time as I used to. Because I stream. And
Preaching to the choir.
Yeah, I know how you guys feel too. I understand your schedules as much. But like, I don't play games for fun as much anymore because I think about like how much I could stream from this game. And when I think about Baldur's Gate, it just feels super overwhelming to me because I prefer to do everything in one go when I'm playing a video game, and you can't do that with a game like Baldur's Gate.
No.
And it kind of gives me anxiety. Like I get full anxiety if I'm playing a game and I don't do everything in the game in one playthrough.
Me too. I was playing Baldur's Gate. I did stream a little bit of Baldur's Gate. I was doing Dark Urge like on stream, and I had like a collab.
Nice.
But I did have my own save, and I stopped playing it around Act 3 because I was getting so paranoid that I was missing certain aspects that I would panic, hit F5, and then if the option that I chose didn't turn out the way I wanted, I would panic, hit
because you want it to be perfect,
and reload it, and I wanted it to be perfect, and I wanted to like see all the options and be like, well, what if I chose that option? What would happen? And it just became such a long process of playing the game. I was like, this is not how the game is supposed to be played. But I'm so riddled with anxiety to like not kill
indecisive
everybody.
people's nightmare.
Yeah, truly.
How far are you in Mass Effect 2?
Dude, you're spoiling all the issues that she's gonna have with the next game, huh? Don't fuck up. How far are you into it?
I'm just prepping them.
I haven't gotten all of the team members yet.
Okay, then you're fine.
For now. Watch yourself.
No, chat is actually really good because I had a conversation with chat and I was like, I don't want to make choices that will affect me in several games from now.
So you asked them to backseat sometimes.
Exactly. I said, you're not allowed to backseat unless I'm about to do something that I will literally be like, I will blame them. I said, I will blame you if I make a choice.
Well, here's the thing about Mass Effect. Any choice you make does affect the game.
I do know that. Know that.
Every choice you made in the first one affects Mass Effect 2. And every choice you made in Mass Effect 2 and 1 affects stuff in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, there's been a few times where chat, like the knowers in chat have just panicked and just like started screaming. And I'm like, oh, I did something wrong. I've had to reload going, I don't know what I did, but we're going back.
No, don't be a fucking coward.
We're going back. We're going back.
You can't say that to us indecisive people, dude.
Yeah.
We have to make the perfect decision.
No. Do you know who the fuck I am? I'm so indecisive.
Dude, the little guy's yelling at me. What do I do?
I'm like half Paragon.
I'm indecisive.
Oh, God.
I'm also indecisive. But I just don't want certain characters to die. So there have been choices that I've been making that apparently have been.
Dude, you would hate Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem has the OG mode where if you fuck up in a battle, they just die. And you miss out on a lot of stuff with them.
I know. Oh, I know.
You should play Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn.
I was losing my mind because like in Fire Emblem, especially Three Houses, the Pegasus characters are super susceptible to like arrows. And so I'd be like, oh, get back, Pookies! I'll protect you!
Get back, Pookie!
Get back, horsies! And I would like throw away other characters just to protect the Pegasus riders. And I'd be like, what's going on here?
I think I also haven't finished those games yet.
Fire Emblem?
I think Three Houses and Awakening I never finished either because
but that's so good.
Like
shipping the game.
I want to, but here's the thing. I actually stopped. I couldn't finish it because I got really mad at my ships. Because one of my, I didn't. So I got everyone. I was like, "You're perfect with you. You're perfect with you. You're perfect with you." What the fuck do I do with Sumia? This bitch does not want to marry anyone but Crom, and it just like. I had to sit there for like a month just trying to think of what to do with her, and then I exploded on myself and I couldn't do it.
Nice. Has there ever been a time when you're playing a game?
That's great.
And after you and you get so frustrated at the game, and you're like, you know what? I'm done for today. I'll come back tomorrow. And then the next day you come back and then you beat that thing the first time, because that happens to me so often. And let me tell you, that was literally the definition of my Black Myth Wukong playthrough.
Sometimes, but a lot of the time I'm a very stubborn person, so I will keep going a lot of the time until I finish. But sometimes if I feel like I'm 9 hours into a stream and like I'm at a boss and I've been doing the same boss for like an hour, I'm like, let's come back to this another day, guys. I have more of the game left to play anyways.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, that wasn't so hard. Why was I rage quitting?
Sonic Unleashed is getting me close to rage quitting sometimes. Well, this game is awful controls.
Well, which version are you playing?
I'm playing the Xbox version, which is supposedly the best one.
Yeah, I think the Wii one is the worst one.
I'm not doing the worst one. I'm doing the best one, hopefully.
I've not played any of those, thank God.
The achievements? I don't get achievements for some reason on the the legal way that I'm playing the game.
Do you guys have to 100% stuff? Do you guys play games for the achievements? Is that like
if it's a small game, I will 100% it. If it is a game that I already have most of the achievements for, I'll just do it all the way. Or if it's a game that I love.
Though, if you finish a game and you haven't gotten all the people, you go back and play.
Yes.
If there's like one achievement, yes, sometimes it bothers me, but I'll forget about it eventually.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Really?
I literally played it the other day, and weirdly enough, I have a way easier time playing Five Nights at Freddy's on console than I do on PC.
Interesting.
So I beat Five Nights at Freddy's 1 the other day. I got to the last night in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 yesterday. But in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, there's an achievement where it's beat it in 2020 mode, which is like bullshit. And I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Oh.
I'm not. There's no fucking way.
So you just left one.
And it's taunting me.
I had that with Meet Yoshi, the Vichiban Five Nights at Freddy's game.
Yeah.
There was what was it? There was like Meet Yoshi mode or something. There was a final mode that I just couldn't do because I started getting mad at the VTubers based on the game. I was like, I swear to God, I'm gonna strangle you, Shia. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I also just don't like Five Nights at Freddy's games most of the time. Like I've never played any of them besides Security Breach, and that one was a buggy mess.
Yeah, I hear it's a lot better now, and Ruin is great, but I don't know what it is. Like I've always been the type of like going back and forth between like trophies and trophies is the on PlayStation. And
it's the lesser version of achievements, Monarch, if you're confused.
Oh God, yeah,
it's the less cool one.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of on the same bandwagon now. I don't know what it is. I don't know what my brain triggered, but there was something about getting an achievement like when I was playing
the pop, the gamer score.
Well, the pop used to be better on the 360. But
100%.
I literally was playing just a game. I don't even remember what I think it might have been Space Marine 2 or Borderlands 3 with my cousin. And I was like, oh boy, achievements. And then I was trying to get the platinum trophy on Astrobot, and I got everything in the game, right? Like I got all the 301 bots. I got all the coins, all the gadgets and stuff. And I'm like, I don't care about the other trophies.
Yeah.
But then with the achievements, I'm like, I can do it. I can do it.
I think there's something about achievements that quantifies it a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
Like gamer score adds so much to trophy hunting and achievement hunting, right? Because you can see the score and you can see the achievements that are worth like way more gamer score than anything else. And it's just like it's more satisfying to go after and seeing that completed list because now it shows it off to people that you play with. Like, oh, this guy's got a lot of gamer score. That means he's a gamer, you know?
And the same can be said for PlayStation, right? I had this conversation with a buddy of mine, and he's like, yeah, with gamer score, you're like, oh, look at the score you got. But with trophies, no one's like, check out all the gold trophies I have. If you don't have a platinum, no one gives a shit.
Oh shit.
So I'm like,
I've never tried to get the trophies in a game. The only games that I like really tried to collect stuff was like the Pokemon games where I had to like catch every single Pokemon.
You don't feel the need to 100% stuff even though you like try to get a perfect playthrough like I do?
No, I never worry about the trophies.
I'm a mix of both of you, huh? Fuck, I'm really fucked up. I try to get perfect playthroughs like Monarch, and I try to 100% shit like CyYu. This is awful. I'm just double fucked. I love perfect
playthroughs because I want the game to end in a way where it lives on that way in my brain forever, and that's how the game, like those characters get a happy ending in my brain, like that. So like Baldur's Gate, I never finished because I don't want it to end in my brain. I want it to be perpetually there. I don't know. It's a very odd.
No, it's fine. I think most people want the best version of that game to be in their memory.
Fair.
I hate
to collect all the. Oh, go ahead.
I hate to bring it back. Just a heads up, there's another Mass Effect game. Not Andromeda, but another one coming soon.
Ooh.
They're making another Mass Effect?
Yeah. Mass Effect 4 specifically.
Oh, wow.
So
will it connect to the 3?
Allegedly.
Ooh. That's awesome.
What are you excited about? You haven't even played 3 yet.
Because I like it. It's like when you're reading a really good novel and the authors announced like a 5th version. You're like, oh my god, it won't end. When I like what I have isn't all of it. Like there will be
Sometimes
more.
I think like that. You know, here's the weird thing. Sometimes when a game franchise that you really like gets a sequel, and like in your heart you're like, oh, I'm really excited that it's not over. But then
then you got
somewhere.
Halo Infinite.
Yeah, then you get like Halo 5, Halo Infinite, and then you're like, oh god. And trust me, as a Halo and Borderlands fan, I know what it feels like to be semi-excited that it's continuing and then disappointed horribly after the next sequel comes out.
Or you could be a Psychonauts fan and be ecstatic when the sequel does so good. Oh, hell yeah, brother. We're Psychonauts 3. Double Fine.
Doesn't Psychonauts have some really crazy levels? I've heard.
The milkman level.
The meat circus is usually
the meat. Oh, the meat circus is what I've heard is crazy.
Yeah, the milkman. So basically, the milkman level is the mind of a conspiracy theorist, and it's all real. It's amazing.
It's real. It's real.
The milkman.
I believe in it.
But the meat circus is the final level of the game, and in the original PS2 version, it was stupid hard.
Really?
Yeah, and for the PC version, they actually patched it to make it easier.
No way.
I'm actually getting into something like that today. So Sonic Unleashed apparently has the worst Sonic level of like all Sonic games called Eggman Land. And I have to get into that today. So like because I'm finishing my game later.
Yeah.
And that apparently is awful. And Sonic Unleashed already has really awful controls. It's one of those games that's so close to being good that it frustrates me.
Yeah.
Because Sonic Unleashed could be one of the best Sonic games, but it's so bad in its execution.
Yeah. I get that.
So after you leave today's episode, you might have another game on your list that makes you rage
Yes,
quit.
I will get another frustration game. Yeah.
Oh,
No
man.
way.
It's edging, dude. It's edging to the top of frustration.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Jeez. I love that you guys have like actual complicated games on your list, and my games are like that one Pokemon level.
No,
Pokemon
Pokemon
can be
can be
rough.
really frustrating too.
That's fair.
Have you
They
played
get really stupid.
Have you played Legends Arceus?
I haven't.
It's really good.
I gave up on Pokemon games a long time ago
Fair.
when they stopped including every single Pokemon in every single game. Because
Oh,
that was the
sure.
thing, is I wanted to catch them all every single time. It was like a
Oh,
really
that's
weird,
fun.
a really
Little
weird thing. But
completionist.
like, you know, Vulpix is like one of my favorite is my favorite Pokemon, Vulpix and Ninetales, and they don't include those Pokemon in the later game. And I went, no Garrus, no me. Like literally, I went, none of my faves, goodbye.
Try having a ghost type, bro. They never add my fucking faves in.
Yeah,
Duskull never
goodbye,
gets a
I'm outta here.
spotlight.
Bro, Hoenn Edge is my new one of my newer favorites.
Interesting.
That's the sword, which is really cool because I usually hate like those inanimate object Pokemon.
Yeah.
But then I read
Really?
his Pokedex entry, and it's this blade was used to stab someone, and the soul of the person it stabbed, it lives within the sword, and that's how Hoenn Edge is born.
Dude, the lore for some of these Pokemon, the newer Pokemon, is crazy. It's
Duskull
wild.
is just a little guy. He just looks like an old man. I just like him. He's just a little guy. I mean, he probably has something fucked up about him, but I
If
don't
you
know.
want to get frustrated at Pokemon, we could talk more about that Soul Link thing.
Oh my god!
Are you guys doing a
yes.
Soul Link?
We've talked about it. I think it'd be a crazy
fun.
time.
You guys bring
I
pain
think it'll
upon
end
yourself.
Exactly how
Yeah.
we think it'll end.
100%, dude.
With
That's
us both
not.
quitting.
You're not going to be happy with that,
We
especially
just have
because
to
one of
pick-
you gets extra frustrated, and then the other one is the one for the cause of frustration most of the time.
It'll be fine.
We don't know that.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
Sometimes
with
it's
any
the other way
certainty.
around.
Yeah.
You know, I want to say that something that represents you so well, Monarch, is your model right now. You have a knife pointed directly at your hand, and if you moved slightly or got bumped, you would stab yourself. And that represents you as like a person so well.
I think
I'm
that
my own
represents our
worst
Soul
enemy.
Link.
Yeah, that's
God.
so
If we
close
did
to
a Soul
stabbing
Link,
yourself.
It would end. We would add it to our list. I think I'd add it right at the bottom here.
Well, the biggest thing was we'd have to pick one like a Pokemon game that I guess we're somewhat familiar with.
Fair.
Yeah.
It needs to have a Vulpix or a Ninetales so that when they die, a piece of me dies in turn.
Oh God.
Really get attached to the Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's why the naming conventions are there. Like you're
I'll
supposed to
name
name
one
your
Joel.
Pokemon.
If I get a Duskull, I'll make sure to call it
Please,
Joel.
Oh my
please
God.
do. When it dies, I
named-
want you to know that I'm gone. I'm not collabing with you guys anymore.
Oh.
You let
Do you
that
guys name your
Pokemon die,
Pokemon?
it's just gone.
Do you guys name your Pokemon or do you leave
Yeah,
it the same?
yeah.
Oh,
I
it
name them. I
depends.
try to. I used to
Depends.
never, and now I specifically name them to get me more attached to them because I think it's more fun.
Yeah, me as well. I like naming them after foods.
That's cute.
It's
Because
really-
you're gonna cook them.
No, it's really cute. Like having like, I don't know, like a Charmander named Fettuccine is just so, it's so peak.
Because if he dies, you're gonna eat him alive.
No!
I don't think Pokemon would taste good except for like a few exclusions.
Hey, I
No,
don't know
they're-
about that, bro. You can make a
No,
chikorita
some Pokemon
salad.
would taste good.
You can make
Like,
a-
I've seen that animation with Chikorita, you sicko.
I know.
You're a
Listen,
sick fuck.
like,
You can make a little Squirtle soup.
a Taurus burger, a Squirtle
Well, that's just
soup.
a
Yeah.
cow, dude. That's fine.
There's literally like dessert Pokemon, like the meringue one.
A Blastoise jacuzzi.
What is
That's animal cruelty.
Jacuzzi?
Like you take out their shell and turn it into a jacuzzi. That's animal cruelty. That's actually bad.
What do you mean?
Isn't there like literally bread Pokemon? Like, are there literally Pokemon that are
Yeah,
like
there's a
actual
bread
Bro,
dog.
foods?
don't
There's a
fucking.
bread
There's
dog.
literally a cake.
Yeah, I know. There's literally cake. There's literally like a meringue character.
That's Al Creamy.
Oh my god. We should do
They're cute.
That's actually a great idea for a
What?
like, would you eat this Pokemon?
Yes,
Yes to most of them.
all of them.
Not all of them. Some of them. You wouldn't eat a muck.
Yeah, isn't
Shows what
Slowpoke
you
tail
know.
like an actual just like an actual thing?
Yes, it is.
In the game.
They
Yeah.
eat slowpoke tails because it's
Yeah.
like how geckos remove their tails. It doesn't hurt them.
Oh my god.
A
You're sick.
cloister? Mmm, delicious.
Oh my god.
Dude,
I will say,
that's awful.
eating the
Eating Bulbasaur?
humanoid-looking ones might be a little weird.
Would you eat Mewtwo? Or would Mewtwo eat you?
Why'd you say it like
No,
that?
that's like, like the littler ones.
Some people would love to eat a Lopunny, you know what I mean? Like, some
Hey,
people
what
are
the
freaks.
fuck?
Okay,
Hey, remember, hey,
alright.
Monarch, remember that other topic we had for our guests? I didn't know we'd be covering it here.
Whoa, whoa.
Yeah, I know
What was
we'd
the
be
other
doing
topic that you guys were
Smash
trying to
Pokemon.
do? For,
I think it was like, was it like furries or something? I can't remember.
oh, dude, Pseudo-Regalia. Look it up.
What?
I
What?
found a video game recently that kind of made me a little bit more sympathetic to furries.
Is that the one Buff has been playing?
I don't know if Buff has been playing. I don't get to see Buff stream because they stream when I'm away, like I'm asleep.
Well, yeah, you sleep till like 5 in the afternoon.
I wake up at like 2 p.m. It's not
He's an
as
old
bad.
man.
It's not as bad.
Old man.
But
that sounds
there's
like
a game-
someone in his 20s.
There's a game called Pseudo-Regalia, and the character is a jackalope, and they look really good. It's like a really
Oh.
well-designed character.
Okay.
And it's a fun game. If you like old school games, I think Sayu would probably like Pseudo-Regalia. I put it on your list. It's one of the
okay.
games I put on your lists.
How do you spell it?
There's
Pseudo-
a TikTok trend going
Like
on right now
pseudo-wudo?
called the Hear Me
With a
Out
P.
cake, where you just bring characters that you have to. It's like a hear me out on these characters. I feel like you'd bring that character.
I think you should stop using TikTok as much.
I
That's
think so
what I
as
think.
well. I think
I
so
see
too.
you sending me stuff on TikTok at like 4 a.m. sometimes.
Well, I send
Well,
you gold.
hold on. 4 a.m. your time is like Monarch's 1 a.m.
Yeah,
That's still,
exactly.
I don't know, man. I don't
send
know how
you
well that
gold.
is.
You know what? I won't send you my incredible TikToks anymore.
No, go ahead.
I'll find somebody else
You
who will
wanted to.
appreciate them.
I used to send you so much TikToks. I stopped using it as much. But
That's
You-
probably
you
the
always-
healthiest thing you could do.
I know. And I think you always said you wanted to do like a reaction stream of just the
Yeah.
TikToks I send you.
Mhm.
Oh my
'Cause
God.
You send me like wild stuff sometimes, so I'd be like, "Oh."
I have a silly. I had a silly FYP back when I used it more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's fair. I don't know what my FYP is right now.
I
It's
send
just, like,
you stuff
random-ass
based on
jokes.
stuff that you would like. I'll send you like a Courage the Cowardly Dog meme randomly at 4 a.m.
Dude, Courage the Cowardly Dog scared the hell out of me when I was a kid.
That's why I send it to you.
You're a bitch.
No, I know we talked about it during our cartoon, our favorite cartoon episode.
You guys had some good episodes, huh?
We did. I
Yeah.
know. The gamer one is just very close to our heart, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We
Do you guys
have
have a
to.
favorite game? Because I know you
Psychonauts.
kind of bounce. I know yours is Psychonauts. I know Monarch. I think you bounce around between games a lot, right?
Yeah,
Coral
I have no favorite.
Island.
Coral Island was her hyperfixation for a while. I don't think it is anymore.
Now it's
I was
Mass
getting
Effect.
frustrated with Coral Island because of the fishing mechanic, because the game is pretty early access and you have to like catch these fish to like give to the goddess to like unlock later parts of the game. So you have to like select collect and catch certain fish. But some fish require a certain season and a certain weather pattern, and sometimes the game
It's the same in most
won't.
games, dude.
Yeah, like sometimes like they just won't, like all the odds just will not have a windy day in the summer, so you just never catch the goddamn big bass or whatever it is. So I was kind of losing my mind for a while. I kept restarting the day just to try to trigger the
Bass
weather.
Pro Fishing collab.
Coral Island is on Xbox. I could get
No way.
achievements.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. There is a lot to like, because there are a lot of animals. A lot of fish,
92
and a lot of-
hours.
I think I have like 150 hours in Coral Island.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's like the average
133
gamer.
hours completionist.
Wow, that's crazy. I definitely have that.
Well, those games are designed to like, you know, suck
they're
the
designed-
hours out of you.
Yeah, 100%.
They're supposed to be there so you can play it for a long time, because that's what a cozy game is for. You don't want to play a cozy game that's only like 3 hours long. You
That's
normally play
true.
cozy games
Maybe
in
I
your
do.
free time.
Do you ever think about that?
No, because that's not the norm. No, actually, no, that's
Yeah,
not
but
actually what I think about.
I mean, I welcome the shorter games. I'm not going to lie.
I do prefer games that I can complete in one stream. They always
Yeah.
make me really happy.
Yeah.
I really like when a game is like 4 hours long. It's a nice little stream. You play it. Maybe you fuck up a little bit. Adds to 5 hours, and then you're done. And then it's very clean.
Have you guys ever played Call of the Sea?
I have it. I own that game.
Oh,
It's on my potluck to play. It's one of the puzzle games that I have, I think.
It's actually a really good story. It's just all puzzles, and as I had mentioned,
Oh, you know what?
puzzles.
I did play it. I played exactly 1 hour of it, and it was really nice. It was really fun.
Oh, it was on my list. Yeah, I remember
There's
this
literally
game.
clips of me screaming through some of the puzzles.
Well, okay, some of those puzzles, at least from the first hour that I played, one of the puzzles was actually awful.
Really?
Do you think it's
Yes.
worth streaming, or should I just do it off stream?
You should
I think you
stream
should play it.
It's
I
like
think
a
you should stream it.
4-hour stream.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I think it's good, dude.
I beat it like in 4 or 5 hours, I think.
Then that means I'll beat it in 2.
Probably, honestly. There were literally parts where I was like, I give up. That's it. I'm out of here.
Wow.
Do you remember which part of it was, though, that really pissed you off?
So, do you remember there was a puzzle that was like you had to look at logs, or you had to look at like sticks in the ground to find. You had to look at sticks in the ground to find symbols to like match it up.
Oh,
It was within the first hour of the game.
Yeah, those ones, and then there's like a rotating wall one that really got me mad. Like with like there's like a.
It's really weird. It's really weird.
One really made me mad.
Monarch,
The Constellation one was also stupid.
Yeah. What?
have you ever played 12 minutes?
No. What is that?
So it's a very avant-garde ass game.
So fun. So
Okay.
fun. But
It's
it is
very
literally,
silly. I'm writing this
it's
down.
puzzles. It's puzzles.
No. No. Fuck
But-
you.
but- But it's cool. It's cool.
What about what my chat's saying, Professor Layton, and I think because I plan on playing Professor Layton. Professor Layton or Phoenix Wright you might enjoy, but they
Objection!
are a lot of talking.
Yeah.
I would play those. I do a thing called Suffer Sunday where I play games that I would not normally play. And I've done like 4 Suffer Sundays as of late. So maybe I'll add 12 days, you said?
Yes,
Did
12
you-
minutes.
Did you
12
rage quit I Am Fish?
I did rage quit I Am Fish. Joel, have you ever played
That
I Am
game's
Fish?
so easy.
I was told to play it.
You shut up. So
It's so easy.
I was told to
This is
play it
why I
because
say
Zen
that-
had a moment with where she was just playing with a bunch of different people to speedrun it.
Really?
Yep.
I cannot play that game. Well, I was also
So
playing on
easy.
keyboard and mouse, which I feel like I was also like nerfing myself incredibly.
You sure were.
But it also shows how much of a not gamer I am and how much of a gamer CyYu is.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
you should play it, Joel. You should be like the middle between us, the middle vote.
I have been told to play it a couple of different times, so I do own the game.
Yeah, because I hate that game, and CyYu said it was easy. So maybe you'll find it medium. Maybe we're like the bears, the bear family.
It's not that I would find it medium.
Right.
I probably wouldn't like that game
twofold.
because I don't like games that are very simple and designed to be like the rage game bait. Like I don't like Jump King. I don't like
Do you play Getting Over It?
I don't like Getting Over
It.
I think it's really bad because it's really boring. It's just one control.
Well, honestly, Joel, you are right. This is one of those games. I found out while I was playing it. It's by the guy that made I Am Bread.
Oh.
Yeah, those games are silly. I don't know if I would hate it. I probably wouldn't think it's good.
One of the segments in I Am Fish is you're in the I Am Bread kitchen.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it then. It's probably just a silly game. Like
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
It's goofy.
Yeah, I Am Bread was cute.
That's old, dude. That's an old collab game. That's Let's Play era video game. I remember watching that.
I'm just kidding.
No, you can't say that. You'll traumatize him.
You think he heard me?
he hears it every day in his walls.
Yeah. And
the voice is in his head.
Him. Chibi reminds him constantly.
I want to remind him. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the games that are just like built to make you rage make me very angry, obviously.
I really hate Among Us. I just remembered that one of the rage games that I had was I hated doing Among Us collabs.
Yeah.
Because it was always this. No, it was just always the same thing. And then one person would always take it too seriously. And it's just very unfun.
Yeah. I played Among Us once. I don't think it was on stream or ever, but I after we ended the call, I just cried. Because I was so sad and frustrated, and I'm just so bad at those games. I'm so bad at lying under pressure.
But you know what a fun one is the Lockdown Protocol one. That one's like Among Us but fun.
I do enjoy that because that was goofy. It's not as serious. I feel like Among Us got into this you have to be a mastermind. If you're not doing a really crazy villain play, you suck. It kind of there was kind of a cult following for just mastermind plays.
Well, it was during COVID, so I mean,
and Lockdown Protocol, there's no meetings, and you don't have to rely on lying as much.
Yeah.
Right.
I think with Among Us, for me, I enjoyed it, but it got to the point where people would just they wouldn't care about the game. They'd just be like, I'm gonna do this thing for a bit. And I was like, okay. And then the bit lasted way too long. And I was like, bro, you're not even playing the game. You're just taking up space. We could have gotten someone else who actually cared.
Gotcha.
But I played Lockdown Protocol once. I think it was a week ago. And I had a lot of fun. It was goofy.
It's good, dude. It's a fun game.
Yeah, I'm apparently decent at the scanner. I can do it by myself.
Oh, I love the beeping noise of the scanner.
You don't need another person. You can just do it all by yourself.
I couldn't figure out the scanner myself, though. That's pretty gamer.
That shit's easy.
Of Among Us? Or
no.
Lockdown
Protocol.
Lockdown.
Oh, I don't think I ever did that one.
It's the one where you have to point and aim at
No,
dots.
I did say I played Lockdown. I said I never did the scanner part of it, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's like an office with dots on a screen.
Yeah.
You have to point at them.
But there's also the Dale and Dawson one.
Oh, that one's stupid. I will say that one's a little more confusing, funny enough.
I do want to play that, but I got to find the right group to put together.
Yeah. That one's a little more confusing, but I think out of the newer ones, Lockdown is probably simpler.
I hope they add more to Lockdown and do more maps because it's gotten really popular.
Yeah.
I hope it does, but I also am I hope it doesn't turn the path of Among Us where people kind of metagame it a little too hard.
No, I don't think it's
so.
set up for that just because there is no meetings and there are no.
Yeah.
It's just more goofy energy. But I hope they add more items that let you be goofy. What if they added a fire extinguisher?
Playing Lockdown and just looking for a gun immediately.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter
That's
if I want to kill anyone. Just as soon as I am able to move, where's a gun?
It's for self-defense.
Yeah, it is. And I love that doesn't ruin it. I mean, you could have everyone in the game looking for a gun as soon as it comes in.
Oh, yeah.
And it still doesn't ruin the experience for you.
I love the C4 trigger. You just click it and you hear an explosion in the distance.
I do
You're
that all the time.
Someone's having a bad day, not me.
I've literally killed
really like the C4.
So many people like that.
I would love to experience. Again, I've only ever played it once. I want to set up a collab for it in the future. I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Well, I'm down.
I'm also down. But I was gonna ask if there are any games you guys are looking forward to.
I have a couple.
Games?
Because I watch a lot of the Game Awards, game showcases, and stuff like that. Because I like watching them with friends or watching it with chat. There was one that I always have in the back of my head recently it's a little indie game that was called Eldritch Empathy. And it was like an Eldritch horror game, except you're like taking therapy. You're like giving therapy to Eldritch horrors, which is really
Wait, that's
silly.
Cool. That sounds right.
I know.
Up your alley.
I thought it would be. I thought it was a really silly idea, and I really was interested by it.
Fun.
That sounds
Eldritch
like a VTuber lore as
Empathy.
well. It's kind of funny.
A little bit, right? A little bit.
So
It has the same vibes.
No, I kind of love that. It's very up your alley too, because you love like the Eldritch horror.
Yeah, for sure.
They're very cool. And obviously the next Little Nightmares game, because those are one of the only horror games that I really like.
And then there's the other game that developer.
That's also Little Nightmares coded.
Yeah. That one looks really good.
Literally just Little Nightmares, but not Little Nightmares.
Yeah, for real.
I know. All the ads are like, this is not another Little Nightmares. Totally different game.
I think most of the games I'm excited for are actually horror games, weirdly enough. I don't know why. There haven't been any non-horror games that I've been really interested in a while.
I know you don't vibe with FNAF like that. Have you checked into The Pit?
The ball pit one? It keeps getting recommended to me, but I haven't checked it.
I think you would. I think you would like it. It's It doesn't play like a Five Nights at Freddy's game. It plays
I'll probably try it. I'll try it. I mean, it's Halloween. It's the Spooktober month. Honestly, it's time to do it. Not to date your podcast.
The sound design alone will make it eerie as hell. Like honestly, I think it's probably the scariest one.
I'm down. I'm down to try it. People have recommended stuff like that to me before in the first place.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's also pixel art. It's super cool.
Actually, what I do is I have my mods write down like games that I get excited for when I watch these game shows and stuff. Because I'm not going to remember all of them, because you see them once, every year.
Yeah. Sure.
I go onto Steam and I wish list them so that I get an email when they go on.
I really should, because that also helps the game.
Yeah, I should do that as well.
It does help the game as well, though. But I just like having that list there to be like, what games have I wished? Like, what's on my wish list? Like just having that digital wish list.
Maybe it'll be nicer to my mods, because instead of yelling at them to mods, write this down. Fable. I'm excited for Fable. We're getting another Fable game after years, which I'm really excited for.
I never played Fable. There's also a new
silly.
I think so. I know that Fable 3 gets a lot of hate. I actually really enjoyed 3.
I liked it.
But
I like Fable 3.
2 is probably the best one.
I kind of want to play them.
They're very silly and dumb. I don't know how else to say it. They're very unserious games.
Yeah.
I do want to get into this new Dragon Age coming out, and I've been wanting to get into Dragon Age.
So yeah, that one's a little different. They have a complete tonal shift with art.
Whoa. Here's the thing. You haven't played a Dragon Age game, right?
I haven't. I know it's very Baldur's Gate-ish.
Well, what I'm saying is, since you haven't played a Dragon Age, the new one might actually be a good way to start for you.
Because it's not a reboot, but it's definitely new.
Right. The play style looks more like Mass Effect 1 than anything else. Which Dragon Age 1 and 2 are not like that. Inquisition was kind of going in that direction. And then this one, Veilguard, is just straight up looking more like Mass Effect than Dragon Age has ever had. And it's because of that, it's become very divisive. But yeah.
That's so funny. I'm talking as if
when
I know
mention trying to play the new Dragon Age that comes out before playing the old games first.
I think it might be just because of story, because
they're worried that the new game might be bad, and they want you to experience one of the good games first. I think that's what a fan would probably feel like.
Well, hey, I mean, if you play the bad one first and then work your way back to the good ones, it's only uphill from there, right?
I actually don't mind hearing things out of order or playing games out of order, because it makes me feel like then I'm going back in time and playing a prequel to those characters.
Yeah,
it doesn't mess with my head as much. I actually like being spoiled on certain things, just a little bit of a spoil, just because then when I'm watching or reading, I want to get to that point, Yeah.
This is how I know you watch TikTok. Like, this is how I know you use TikTok. Because
so
dude, no.
You're
such
a TikToker, you know?
Because I'm
you
the
damn
exact,
TikToker.
I'm
know,
the exact same way. Because literally, I will be watching something on TikTok. I'll see a clip of like a show or a game or something, and I'll be like, whoa, how'd they get there? And then I'll start watching it.
I'm like, what? That's why I love getting, I read a lot of enemies to lovers, like my favorite trope, but I love getting spoiled of like, after they become lovers, like some scene or some moment, because then like when you're reading the book, you're like, that couldn't possibly be getting there. Like, I don't know what. And so I love the journey then to get to that point. I don't know.
I mean, for me, recently I watched Transformers 1, right? And I literally had no intention of watching it until I saw a clip on TikTok. And that clip was like, so the whole point is like the origin, of Transformers in a goofy retelling. And they like Optimus isn't Optimus yet. He was known as a different robot code.
Oh, baby Optimus.
Yeah, and he's like breaking into this place to get some information, and they're like, "You're not supposed to be here." And then it's like, "Guys, we could talk about this." And then they were literally like, he's like, "All right, you guys are asking for it." It's like, "What are you gonna do? You can't even transform." And then he goes, "Oh yeah, watch this." And then he does like the movements, but he does it, and then he just bolts.
That's really silly.
I was like, that's the funniest shit. And
that's the Jotaro like equivalent, or the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure equivalent of just saying my secret technique is to run away.
Yeah, and that's literally like within the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Oh damn.
So I was like,
that's
okay,
really silly.
I'm watching this movie.
Yeah. Like I want to get to that point. I feel it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have games that you know you'd probably love, but you just don't want to play, so you just watch somebody else play it? I've done that before with like Yakuza and God of War, where I don't want to play the game, but I really want to watch it for the story.
I feel like that's how I am with horror games.
Yeah.
You're really interested in watching it, but not playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elden Ring as well. I watched a ton of the boss battles for Elden Ring. Because I just
like you're interested in the story, or just the game, like you want to watch somebody else play it and not play it yourself.
Animation really pretty, and I just want to see what it looks like to beat that, because I know I'll never get there. So I just want to see what it's like.
That was me with like Five Nights at Freddy's and Evil Within for a while.
I crashed.
Like everything crashed.
Well, would it be called Scuff N Stuff?
Did your OBS crash?
VTube Studio crashed.
Oh, okay.
But your OBS is fine.
No.
Okay, I think you might have the same OBS issue that I had.
Chat, are you still here?
Now you're asking them.
Welcome to Scuff N Stuff, everybody.
We're also at an hour and a half, so we are here. Literally, my computer's going, "You're done."
If it makes you feel better, the new OBS update has been making everyone crash lately. I had
haven't
5
updated
crashes.
OBS in like a year, and I don't plan to.
Dude, I had, I think, 5 to 6 crashes in the last week, and I had a mental breakdown in the Costco parking lot about it. So probably should
Monarch,
get you to
you're
troubleshoot
still
that.
live. Your chat just can't see us.
Okay. I can fix that.
Yeah.
Then you're good. You're good. It was just a VTube Studio crash.
Welcome to Scuff N Stuff.
You guys froze, and I was
I
still
have one brain cell, and CyYu has the other. Welcome to
we're
Scuff
playing
N Stuff.
again.
Yeah.
I think it crashed again.
Wow.
Oh no, it was just loading your big ass head in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm sorry that your model is 200 megabytes, while this model's like maybe 20. All right.
You guys should also be using VTube Studio without Steam.
Oh, yeah, I am.
I'm not.
I have a lot
Shut
of
the hell up, Joel!
beautiful jewelry on.
Me giving advice and not taking it myself.
Jesus Christ.
Your 4K model needs to be like squished down, Monarch.
My next model isn't this complicated.
Look at you.
I also just felt bad to my
tail.
Well, I did have this model, that my Siren model was designed by somebody else, and then when I brought the design to my mama to Lucid, I was like, we can kind of cut back on some of the details, and she went, no. She did them all.
More details.
Yeah.
You do have a lot of detail on you. I noticed
You
because
have
your
an
tail's
IoT
been
tail on you.
smacking me in the face this entire stream.
Oh, you
Wow.
could have asked. I could have gotten rid of it.
I didn't want you to
But
put
I
away
know
your tail, you know?
bubbles to the seat.
So remember how your VTube studio just crashed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're really pushing your luck.
Get hacked, VTube Studio.
You're not helping yourself.
That's so funny.
Get hacked. All the things.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like you did say, I think we did reach our 2 hour mark.
Yeah,
Well, I'm at
we
2
did
hours
talk
now.
about a ton of games that made us rage bait. Yeah.
Games in general, really.
Yeah.
Games are made to challenge you in different aspects, and all people have different strengths and weaknesses. So what might be fun for one person can be struggling for another person.
Play Cuphead!
Games are art to me. A game is whatever somebody sets out to make it to be. You can make out trash, and then it becomes trash, and that's what you wanted.
Yeah, The Last of Us 2.
I guess.
Did you ever beat that?
No, I never finished it. It made me
Honestly.
sad. And
That's another game that I don't want to play, but I like watching.
Honestly, you're better off.
I play games to escape my real life problems, not to then feel more sad.
Yeah.
It was good though. It was good. I just mentally am not there.
Oh, I 1000% get that.
No, I check out sometimes during games.
Yeah.
And why are you playing?
I have watched. So actually, Joel, you did ask any games that you don't want to play. I have watched videos of the ending of Last of Us because I wanted to know what happened.
Oh.
So I do know scenes and things that happen at the end of the game because I was like, I'm not gonna finish.
Well, I grew up watching Let's Plays. That's probably why I do that sometimes.
Oh, right. Sorry.
That's fair.
Traumatizing.
Well, I'm looking forward to Dragon Ball and Shadow.
Sparkling Zero, yep. And Shadow and Sonic Generations.
That's so unlike you.
It's so good. Maria, I committed genocide for you.
Oh my.
That's not what I wanted, Shadow.
That's exactly what you wanted. You said it on the arc.
Well,
No,
thank you so much for today's episode and for joining us, Joel.
Of course.
Where can the viewers find you?
I'm Porcelain Made on everything. And I'm doing a lot of cool stuff lately. Hopefully I can bring these two on. I'm actually setting up a game show for improv.
Oh.
And I'd love to have you guys on in the future.
We'll see about that.
But yeah, no, thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah.
We've been friends for I think 2-3 years now, probably 2 years.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like I never get a chance to actually talk to you guys one-on-one. I mean, I have you on streams sometimes, but like we don't get to hang out as much because you guys are super busy off stream. So this is nice. It's nice to just yap with both of you.
Thanks for yapping with us.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, we'll sign off. Thank you guys. Bye.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
We'll see you in the next one where we talk about things.
Smash or pass Pokemon again.
Where we talk about blank. And it's going to cut right
where
there.
we talk about.
Sorry, YouTube. It's just how we